morning from cold and crisp Cumbria. Forgive the state of my face. I've rolled out of bed, threw some clothes on, had a cup of coffee and come outside. Let's look at what's happening this weekend. This is what's happening this weekend. The mass. I'm going to have to trim it back. I wanted it to grow up that drain pipe. I've got some clematis in there, I've got some climbing roses in there, I've got, oh my god, what else have I got? We've got some bay leaf growing in there, we've got honeysuckle in there somewhere, we've got that, I can't remember the name of it, mock orange I think it's called, can't remember, or is it gardenia? I think it might be gardenia actually. And we've got some, let me remember the name of it. This is the problem when you get to my age. I forget the name of things, like words escape me. So it is, I've forgotten, I'll remember in a minute. But anyways, so it's climbing up not only the drain pipe, but look, it's also hanging over a bedroom window. And when it gets windy, and it has been a lot this year, thankfully not today, that is tapping on the window during the night. So I want to get it all trimmed back and into some sort of order. Look at it. Stepping back further, you can see where it's going. Now the problem that we have is, I did want it to grow over the roof here. I actually wanted it to grow over the whole roof. However, we then got the solar panels fitted, so I can't have it growing anywhere near the solar panels. So that's one of the reasons we need to trim it. And the other reason is, at some point, maybe this year, we're going to get a pergola built along from, oh, let me get my finger in the shot. Oh, the porch here, all the way along here. And so we're going to train all this growing stuff, or climbing stuff rather, growing stuff, all the climbing stuff across the top of the pergola. So that's going to be the plan. So, but somehow I just need to get all that trimmed back and into some sort of order and contained, I guess. Jasmine, that's the one I forgot. Jasmine, there's jasmine growing through there as well. As you can see, that didn't take long at all. And it looks bare now. At least I've opened it up so that the plants, the shrubs that are in the bottom there, can get a little bit more light. Brief interlude. I had a mini meltdown because one of the dogs jumped over the fence and went down the bottom garden and wouldn't come back. So I got her back in the garden, and then I got all the dogs in the house. And my meltdown occurred because they've been out in the garden with me and it's muddy out here. And I put them in the house, and of course they got mud on their paws. And so there's now muddy paw prints all over the kitchen floor, all over the hall floor, and up the stairs. And I've only spent all morning cleaning the floors. So yeah, I had a meltdown. I decided to stop for coffee. And I'll get back to it shortly. Oh, that's messy. But look how bare. Although there's light getting in there now, I think I'm going to have to trim back this gardenia. I don't know if that looks better or not. It certainly opens it up a little bit more, but the reason I liked it there is because it gave us a bit of privacy at the patio doors from next door. You can see where I'm coming from. Not that we don't like next door, we're good friends with them, but still, you know, they don't have to see us coming out. Not that they're watching us or out daft like that. I'm not saying anything at all like that. But yeah, I just liked it as a little bit of privacy. But now we don't have it. But I think at some point, what I might do, once we get the pergola up, whenever that might be. Oh, just doing something. Oh, falling over. Sorry. Once we get the pergola up, I might put a sort of privacy fence up here. And then we'll grow the stuff up and over the top, but I'll have to keep on top of it, and I'll have to make sure that I'm cutting it back regularly so it doesn't become unruly, I think is a good word for it. Well, you saw what it was like at the start, and that's definitely much neater, isn't it? It'll let a lot more light in the kitchen as well. Anywho, I think that's when I'm stopping for now with this anyway. I just got to figure out how I'm going to get, well, I need some ladders, how I'm going to get up there and be able to tie that lot in. I think chicken wire and tie wraps is the answer. And then every year I can just cut it back to the chicken wire and it'll still grow and it'll still flower. God, it's been whacked though, isn't it? Absolutely whacked. After that, the next step will be to get a fence along this flower bed, because like along here, I've got a post in here. That was the start. The rest of the posts are sitting there. I think they've been sat there for about 2, 3, maybe even 4 years now. I've been planning to put a fence along there to keep the dogs out of the flower bed, but I want to start growing veggies in there this year, so I'm gonna need to put a fence in. So this year, definitely fencing off the flower bed. Well, I just decided on a whim to dig this out. As much as I love this, I don't want it in my flower bed. So I dug it out from here, and look what's growing behind it. I don't know when I planted this. I know it was, I know I planted quite a few yuccas along here, but between scaffolders and dogs, they've all been destroyed except 2 along the end there. Hang on, let me show you. That one and the big one at the end. My first one that I planted. My good friend Smelly Kelly Buckingham, her dad grew the original plant, and I planted that out, but the original plant died off, and then this grew from the root, so that's the first one I planted. I absolutely love it. Thank you very much, Smelly Kelly Buckingham. So anyway, so I've got yucca there, yucca here. I did plant another 1 or 2 along here, but it got stood on and destroyed by the scaffolders. I had another one here that got stood on and destroyed by the scaffolders, and I had another one, obviously I must have planted that one at the same time. I had another one here which I think is trying to grow back. Yeah, it's trying to grow back, but it keeps getting stood on by dogs. I think that's my yucca anyway. It doesn't look like daffodil. But yeah, I did have quite a few that have been destroyed. But that one, it was completely hidden by this bugger. I don't know what I was going to say there. Bugger. But yeah, really happy. One of my yuccas is there. I actually have, sorry about the filming now. I've rescued these two. These were stood on. So I managed to rescue them, and this one's been rescued as well, and that one as well. So I will plant them in the garden, in the flower bed, but only once I've got my dog-proof fence up. Love yuccas, by the way. If anybody ever wanted to send me a plant, please send me yuccas. I've got 2 more over here. Absolutely love yuccas. Second only to palms. Look at these bad boys. One of them I got as a leaving gift. No, I didn't. It was a birthday present from a job a long time ago. And the other one found in a skip. Hey, skip raiding's not beyond me, especially not for plants. Okay, so I've just pruned these. And so I forget the name of that one. That's a rose. That's a rose. And I still need to prune these. These are dog roses or wild roses. Actually, they're not dog roses. I don't know what they are. They're some type of rose anyway. So I think I'll do that tomorrow. And I also need to prune this because it's just in the path. Used to have an archway going across the gate, and it would go like that. So I've got one honeysuckle that side and a honeysuckle. Well, my battery died, as I was trying to explain to you, that I've got some climbers here, and I'm going to get them cut back tomorrow. And I planted that beast of a plant just at the bottom of the fence there, so that's a few things planted there now. Good morning, happy Sunday. I got up this morning and looked outside, and I actually think, oh my god, that looks so much better, doesn't it? It does. So I've made a bit of a decision this morning, so I'll explain that to you shortly through video. But yeah, we had a bit of snow last night. It was also Valentine's Day yesterday, so happy Valentine's Day for yesterday, everybody. Thought you might like a wee update on the new ladies. Here they are. Well, 2 of them anyway. Come on then, babbies. Come on then. You're still looking a bit scabby mad, haven't you? Yeah, but you're happy. Yeah, they're doing really, really well. As you might be able to see, the weather is not very nice today. No, so I'm going to get on with this pruning quickly as I possibly can. I'm calling it a day on anything outside. It is absolutely miserable out there. It's raining, it's cold, it's grey. Indoors from here on in this weekend, I think, except for taking Poco for a walk. I'll brave it then, but apart from that, it's under a warm roof. Got a pretty decent egg haul today though, happy with that. So back in the comfort and the cosy of the kitchen. So what I decided, what I realised, and I think I'd already realised this and I was already planning for it, but I hadn't really put 2 and 2 together, and that is the fence line between ours and next door's garden, the ugly metal fence that's up there. I've got something on my eyelash, it's annoying me. Obviously I'm planting stuff at the bottom of that, and I'm planting climbers as well, and I'm going to use that as the privacy screen, which I think I'd already said. Let's say I'd already realised that I was going to use that as a privacy screen, but I didn't think that I could use that instead of the privacy screen at the back door. I hadn't thought of it like that. So what I've decided to do is some of the honeysuckle that was growing up through the mass at the back door, I'm going to dig that up because it's kind of self-sown, or self-rooted rather, not sown. It's where runners have come out from the main plant. The main plant was dug up quite a few years ago and replanted down the garden because it had all been blown over in some really strong winds. yeah, there's a definite theme running through this area and it's strong winds. So the main plant was dug up. The stuff that was left had self-rooted. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably have a look for how many self-rooted plants there are in there, and then I'll just dig up 1 or 2 and plant them at the bottom of the ugly metal fence, and that can also help to form part of the privacy screen. Okay, that was long-winded, wasn't it? But that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to do it today because of this horrible weather. I might go out into the greenhouse because the tomato seeds that I planted and the pepper seeds that I planted in the middle of January are doing really well. So these are the tomato seeds that I planted. I took them out of the little cloche and I've got them growing just in the windowsill now, and they're doing really, really well. And these are the pepper seeds that are also doing really well. And again, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to watch back the video where I planted them to be able to tell what it is, but that's neither here nor there, is it? So I might get these planted up today. And I wanted to show you something else that I've been doing. Get this out of the way. I cut down one of my dracaenas. In fact, I think I cut down quite a few. And I just put them in water. I think the water's a bit green now, but I'm going to have to get these potted on as well because now this is part of a cheese plant, but it hasn't grown any roots, but it's surviving because it's been in water, so I don't know if that'll ever grow any roots. However, that's not grown a root, but as you can see, hang on, new growth. Oh, now this one has got a root. So if I show you, that's got a root and it's got new growth at the top. How amazing is that? Let me see these ones. So I can pot that one on that's got the root. That one's got roots. That one's got roots. And that one's got roots. Yes, so 3 of them have got roots. But actually, I've done this in the past. I was going to say if I've cut a dracaena, but the last one that I did wasn't actually cut. What had happened was Sybil had chewed through the base of the plant. So I cut it low, and then I took the leafy head off it, if you like, and I just popped that straight in compost, and it just kept growing. And the funny thing is, what was left in the pot from below where she chewed it, also another theme that runs through here, and given that she did the same with my grapevine, which I was very upset about. But yeah, the little stump that was left in the pot has just started growing. Dracaenas are amazing. Like, you don't have to water them that often. You can snap them and pop them on. You can dump them in water and they will regrow. They're just amazing. But this one, and I can't remember what this is. This is a plant that I've got in my bedroom. And one of these leaves, this leaf had snapped off. So I put it in water and it's rooted. So free plants. Who doesn't want free plants? I love my plants almost as much as I love my outdoor plants. I don't even know. Oh, it's not a competition. But anyway, yes, so I just wanted to show you that. So this has all been very successful. So I need to put them on as well. Do I do it today or do I wait? Oh, I don't know. Well, I didn't film it because who wants to watch me planting up plants? But here we go. 4 dracaenas. 3 of those little cheese plant things. I think it's called a monkey cheese plant or something. And this thing. Don't know what it is, but yeah, see how they get on. Well, the rain held off long enough for me to get the wee one out for a walk. So we're out now, and as you can see, even got a bit of sunshine, which is lovely. Oh, that feels better. But not behind me. Look behind. Oh, walking through big puddles. Yeah, the pike behind me is rather shrouded in mist or low cloud or something like that. Anyway, sorry about this being so jumpy. Got a dog in one hand and a phone in the other. I'm walking through all these
horrible muddy puddles. Anyway, that's it for this weekend. I did not get the tomatoes and peppers potted on, but I'll probably do that during the week anyway. Give me something to do, right? And something to look forward to. So I hope you've had a really good weekend, and I hope you have an amazing week ahead. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Bye.